Each week during this segment, we give each panel member a chance to say what's on their mind. Jim? What's on your mind?
I have had the opportunity lately to listen to the music of choice of certain high schoolers.
Oh boy.
And I got to tell you, and I'm sure
Were you twerking?
our parents, probably sat
Behave.
in a seat similar to this and said, what this generation below us, look at what they've done. What possibly can the generation below them do worse? And I'm sitting here thinking the same thing. I mean, we talk about race relations, but these songs, every other word is N or MF or some other permutation of something that I really just don't want to hear. These songs are supposed to have a meaning, but these meetings are about killings or about how bad cops are, or about white versus black or whatever the case may be. I have a real problem with it, and I have a real problem with us wanting to have a conversation, a needed conversation about race relations, because we all are American. Yet we tolerate this, and I don't know why. And I don't think we should, and I understand the free speech. But we elevate this, just like the picture of the cop that got hung in the congressional hallway that's been a big issue this week, representing a cop as a pig. That young man or young woman that drew that had every right to draw it. I don't think we should elevate that any more than I think we should elevate the Confederate flag by flying on state capitals. Just my opinion.
Ron?
I am a very strong proponent of the Second Amendment right. I also equally like my First Amendment right. And I can see an assault on the First Amendment by the President-elect of the United States in the way he's dealing with the news media and the people that report what's going on in this world. If people think that taking their guns away from them and the protection of their Second Amendment is really important, you better stop and think about what happens when the real news is not being reported. And to call out those people that report the news, the names that they are being called right now, most of which is by Second Amendment right folks. Now, I don't know what the issue is, but I don't like what I'm seeing in the country, and I don't think that a person, and as a club of billionaires that's going to be running this country, need to attack my First Amendment right.
Colin?
So, I think and this is something that's happened over the course of the last few electoral cycles, we have become, as a country, entirely too polarized. We're incapable of accepting the fact that there may be people who have different points of view, and that's fine. In a democracy, having differences of opinion is a strength. It's not a weakness. We can't expect everyone to think the same thing that we do. But we have become a society to some degree that's been dumbed down to the point where we don't exercise any sort of critical thought or any sort of critical opinion. We demonize people who disagree with us, and that's very, very dangerous. There are plenty of historical parallels that we're not going to get into that do not bode very well for us if we go down this route.
Good point. And I would say my final thought is, I was just thinking about the fact that we have an election cycle coming up this fall, what positions are open, and then also now is the time to start planning and thinking about if you're interested in running in 2018. So it's looking at campaigning. I know for Frederick City, one of the aldermen, believe it's Michael O'Connor, announced that he was going to run for city mayor. So this is the time to start thinking about it. Because if you want change locally, at the state level, federally, it's getting good people to actually run for office. We need candidates, we're how many months away from the primary? And it starts with, and it's looking at all offices, not just the President of the United States. So, and this is about the time to, hey, what do you think? Have you ever thought, I know Ron has been one of our county commissioners, can speak a lot to it, of getting off your bum and getting involved and making a difference. And whether it's encouraging a friend to run, running yourself, or getting involved. But that's the only way you're really going to bring change. When you keep electing the same people to the same office, why do you still expect change? So that's all we have time for tonight, but we hope you will like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And be sure to join us next week for another visit to the Flip Side.